everyone. This is Curt Eddy. He is outside. He is in Utah. And he is actually on the street, just walking. He's an hour away from his home. And we just have a heart-to-heart conversation. And I thought I'd invite Curt Eddy here to chat. It's a heart-to-heart conversation. So whatever comes to our mind or heart, we're just going to chat. Whatever the direction goes, we'll take it. So Curt, say hi to everybody.
Well, hello, everybody. Just come on a walk with me. I pulled over my vehicle and I'm just, I had some church meetings this morning and I went to a friend's house and then got busy talking. So I didn't make it home in time to sit down and talk with Julie. So we're going to go on a walk today.
That's awesome. I love it. You look great. And I know when it comes to church and conversations with people that you are together, you always running out of time to talk about things. And sometimes we'll go over the time that we wanted. So it's good. So has been a great day for you so far.
Yes. This morning, I of course I went to church this morning, and then after that I went and visited a few of my grandchildren. I have 23 grandchildren, Julie, and so 14 and below, and just had another 3 grandchildren over the past 4 months. So it's moving along, and the family's doing great. ONPASSIVE, I've been along with ONPASSIVE for about 4 years now. And maybe a little more. I think it was November of 2019.
Wow. It's actually, coming up in 5 very soon.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. I've got positions for my family and they don't know a lot about it. I've talked to them about it, but they don't understand it. So I'm just thinking we don't have to say apples anymore, right?
No, we don't. Well, no, we don't. But it has been a great journey, but I wanted to go from almost at the very beginning. I know you used to live in California.
Yes.
And you're in Utah.
Yes. I grew up in California. I was born there in Orange County, where you're at, Julie. It was a great, I had a great childhood there. Used to spend times at the beach, Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, sometimes Laguna Beach. And eventually, when I was living there, once I got married, I ended up down in San Clemente for about 9 years before moving to Utah. Utah has some great mountains, some great hiking trails and lakes. And it's a lot of fun. In California, I miss the beach, and I usually come down and stay at San Clemente State Beach or Carlsbad State Beach, for those of you who know where those areas are at. So, but now I live in Utah, and I haven't made it down this summer as of yet.
Right. Well, California beach is all great. Everything's good. That's why people pay very high dollars, right, to live and enjoy the weather here. But that's a story we can talk about that later, all about California. But you ended up in Utah, and you know what? I've been following you on Facebook. I've seen a lot of the activities that you and your family has, and to be honest, you have a huge family, and it's so lovely to see everybody together. Are the grandchildren living close by to you? Or at least some distance?
They're within 15 minutes of me now. It wasn't always that way. My oldest lived in Riverside, California when she first got married for about 12 years. And then my number 3 child lived up in Portland, Oregon. No, it wasn't Portland, it was in Washington, but right there across the way. Mm-hmm. And they've all moved back now, so yeah. And like I said earlier, 23 grandkids, a lot of fun. But I'm hoping to be able to take care of them eventually so that they can do many good things. That's the whole idea behind ONPASSIVE, to help humanity. And
exactly.
So first, and then they can go out.
Exactly. Yes. So been you've been in on passive for almost 5 years coming up now. How has
Yes.
the journey been for you, and how did you kind of get to know? And I know you own your own business when you first started it, and then you came in and you show up in many many meetings. And I know I had conversation with you where you have not really missed any. You show up to the meetings. You even though you're very busy in life, but you very stay very updated with on passive. How has on passive been for you?
Well, great. I'm kind of quiet behind the scenes, um, and part of that is by design because if I was to get involved, I would probably have to get all in. And when I say involved, I'm involved, but I'm behind the scenes. I watch all the webinars, and if I can't catch them live, I always watch them. And I know that at this time that Ash is really working for us. Ash and his team, to he wants to take care of us, and I know he will. I have faith in Ash and his story and how he wants to help humanity, and that's what caught my attention is helping humanity. That's one of my goals that I like to do with the rest of my life is help humanity. And I think ONPASSIVE, and I know ONPASSIVE is gonna get us there, where we can help ourselves first and then help humanity. And
Right.
and I may look like because I have a suit on, I may look like I'm well-to-do. No, I do need some retirement. I'm at that age. I'm 63, Julie.
Wow.
So I stay in shape and things, but I'm 63 and I don't have enough money for retirement. So I'm relying on ONPASSIVE to take care of me the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Still working. I still have to pay the bills. So I have a cleaning business, and I also do some demonstration for a company called Leaf Filter in the evening. So I have 2 jobs to make ends meet, and also help take care of my grandchildren. Some of my family does very well, and others need a little bit of help. So I have to chip in a little bit there.
Yes, and you are like everyone. I mean, you are like I guess a hardworking individuals who is trying to look for a place, trying to look for a little bit of easier times. Like you said, you're close to, you want to be retired. You want to be retired in a comfortable place. But let me ask you really quick, what is it about on passive that you are so attracted to?
The automation, the AI that is going to be able to function 24/7, and of course we have to do a little bit, but from there, once we do our part, then the way Ash is setting this up, I realize that it's going to take care of us, but we have to do our part, which isn't much.
Right.
Just a little, just to get there. And once we get there and things get moving, I am looking so forward to passing on the good word of ONPASSIVE and also helping humanity, helping my grandchildren, not enabling them. We can enable people too, right? We want to get the fishing pole and teach them how to fish. We don't want to just start handing out money. Bless, for example, I'm sure Ash has the idea of giving humanity or people fishing poles and teaching them how to fish, and making it very simple, something that a 90-year-old could do or a 5-year-old could do. Very, very simple. And that's what we need, is simple, so we can take care of ourselves, but so we can also compete in a way with the other 2% maybe or 3% that's doing well. And
Absolutely.
we need to be there, and that's what needs to happen. And Ash is making sure it's taken care of, and I'm have all the faith in World ONPASSIVE and the technicians and techies that work with them.
Absolutely. And wouldn't it be nice to have something that already made and it's automatically running where you just plug in and go automatically, you know?
That that's correct. And
Yeah.
and see, I think sometimes with ONPASSIVE, as I've watched, you have Marty and Chris and all those who are, and I love Chris and Marty and the way they motivate people and keep informing people, and also Red and many others that do the same thing. Um, and of course, Marty loves to market and do things online, but I'm sure um, once once things get going with ONPASSIVE, he's gonna be so excited to see what Ash has for us. I think there's so much that Ash has for us that we don't know about, and it's mentioned. Probably only know about 2% of what's going on behind the scenes, and that's by design, right, Julie? It's by design.
Exactly. It's all by design. And let me ask you, you mentioned about, we only know 2% of what's going on in non-passive, but imagine you are a business owner, you have your cleaning business. Imagine if you have a company that driving the targeted traffic to your business, like, the people that look for cleaning. Imagine how is it, in your business that you're doing right now, and how do you believe with the mechanism, the technology, and what all on passive doing will help your business. And I do know that, who knows, you may still keep your business when it on passive is ready to go. Who knows, you may give it to one of your children or grandchildren. But imagine if you have a business right now, and how hard it is to get customer, and how easy it is if you have a company that actually drive targeted traffic to your business.
That's correct, and that's a big deal, a real big deal. Being a business owner, knowing, always having to change and keep up with the times and keep up with technology when it comes to advertising, you waste a lot of money. And it's going to be nice that for those businesses that need targeted traffic, they'll be able to do that with several products. It's not just traffic that's going to do it for us. There's other things too. The social media platform, ONET, and we have accounting that's made for businesses, and we have over 50 products, and then some. It'll be infinity worth of products. Whatever is needed out there, I'm sure Ash and his team will help our businesses grow. But I'm at the age where, to be very honest, Julie, that I'd love to let go of the cleaning business and just have the tools that the software that ONPASSIVE is creating to be able to put that on automation and just sell the products, worldwide.
Absolutely.
And because of the code tracker, we'll be able to track how well we're doing in certain areas of the world, and certain products will probably do better in other parts of the world than others, right?
Exactly. I wanted to check with you really quick, Curt, and I know you outside in Utah now. It's not like Utah in the winter time. So how are you doing? Do you need to? I know it's hot. Do you need to take a sip of water? Do you need to sit down?
I'm okay. Unless
You're
you want.
okay.
Isn't this live? Kind of.
It is not live, but it's recording.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I don't need to take a break unless you think I need one.
No.
When I look at, I'm good.
No, you're good. Okay. I just want to check on you. That's all. So let me ask you, you are a business owner. You have a business to run. I know it's a small, and you work another job, and then you have your family, your grandchildren. So when do you have time for yourself? And you have churches.
I don't. Yeah. I don't have a lot. I'm a very busy person. And at times I've wanted to get, more involved, like say you are and others, but I have to make sure that my grandkids and the bills are paid. And I did go. I don't like to go in a negative way, but I did go through a divorce, which was rough.
Mhm.
And so in doing so, my social life, I'd like to be able to find a good woman to marry and be married again. That's one of my goals. But I'm not in a position financially where I can even go that position right now, because I got things that I'm taking care of. The business used to be where I had like 40 employees, and I've
Right.
shrunk it down over the past like 5 years. And as ONPASSIVE launches to the world, I'm my goal is to have ONPASSIVE take over, and I can kind of sell off into the sunset, and spend more time with the grandkids, find myself a wife. And I'm just being honest. I don't want to be single for the rest of my life. That's something that I love. Family. I believe in marriage, and so I want to go that direction sometime. And ONPASSIVE's going to be able to help me do that.
Absolutely. And you know that there are so many people in our own community that really kind of put our personal needs, personal socialize, just to be with family, just to take care of our kids, including myself, and there's so many other, and just really truly involved in the business that lasts a lifetime, and involved in the community that lasted forever. And I know you are involving a lot of in the church. Last time we were about to sit down to have a conversation, but you have some get together. You have a single group over there in Utah.
Yeah, there is here in Utah and throughout the United States. There's like single groups with the same faith and ideas, so that it makes it easier when you both are on the same page. And yeah, it's the name of the church is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some people will have nicknamed it the Mormons, because of the belief in the Book of Mormon. But I don't want to go that direction. That's not what this platform's for. But I am involved, and I do go to single activities, and they're fun. I did go down to St. George a couple weeks ago for 2 days, and we did some paddle boarding, and we did some fun activities. We did some four-wheel driving. We went back to some falls, and it was a lot of fun. And to be with like-minded people that they're also in the same position, and so that's it. I get away occasionally, probably about once every other month for a few days, and it's a lot of fun. It's a big group of people. And they're very supportive of each other. That's correct. And I'd like to help with that too. If I could help financially, help with that program, because that's needed. I mean, some people maybe are a happy single, and I'm a happy person, but I'd rather find somebody. And so I do go to single activities from time to time.
Yes, and absolutely. And it's the best place to be when you are with the people that having the same vision, having the same interests, and I guess with the same status as well, single status as well, which is very healthy. So tell me, what are your, the biggest thing in ONPASSIVE is not only providing the absolutely high class and I forgot the words. The very cutting edge technology. That's a word. Very cutting edge technology, and beside that, valuable that we have in our hands. What is it in ONPASSIVE that you have? I would say that you have committed yourself to it. You've mentioned several things.
I'm quite committed. Over the years, I've bought several positions because I would like to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'd like to pass it on to my children, the inheritance, basically.
You want to build your legacy.
legacy. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Julie.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I'd like to have a legacy that I can leave behind. And of course, it's funny, Julie, in anything in life, those who are true believers and stick it out, like we are with ONPASSIVE here, and we will be blessed. And when we're blessed, then and we're taking care of ourselves, then we can also take care of our family and extended family. And as they see the apples or money roll in, naturally they're going to get involved, because it will happen. So many people who have left ONPASSIVE, and there's a few that have. We have to be honest. There's a few that have, but the majority of us have stuck around. They will be back. They'll be back, and that's the whole idea. And I think Ash sees the big picture there. And so when you do something like this large and this huge, what Ash is doing, he wants to do it right. And have mistakes been made along the way? Yeah, Ash has admitted that mistakes have been made along the way, and he's learned. And that's fantastic, because you go through these tough times, and sometimes you go through tough times, and what happens is you get through it, and as you get through it, you're stronger. And I think Ash has grown through this entire process, and he's making some decisions right now that are going to bless our lives, literally bless our lives. He's gone back, maybe it strayed a little bit, but he's come back to it. And I think we do all in life. Think about life for ourselves, Julie. What happens is we go through life, and sometimes bad things happen to us. Hard things happen to us. And of course, we get off the path for a bit. But if we don't become angry, or if we don't become bitter, and we just learn from it, the whole idea is to learn from our experiences. We all learn from our experiences. And because of it, we're going to be stronger. As a group with ONPASSIVE and the entire ONPASSIVE, I can't say it. What's the word?
ONPASSIVE. Yeah.
There you go. Help me again. We will bless each other's lives. And it's funny, we're not going to be in competition with one another. We're going to be there to help each other. Yeah. And I think that's great. So wonderful. I've never lost faith in ONPASSIVE, and I know it's gonna take care of us, Julie.
Absolutely. And who goes through life without making mistakes? Who go through life without challenges? Who goes through life with meeting different people, and you really going through, and the people that come across you meant to be there, meant to sometimes teach us a lesson, meant to come across us for any reason. And so all we know is focus on our vision, our goal, our legacy. We always come back to at the end. And the one thing in ONPASSIVE that I see that's so beautiful is we offer only valuable technology, valuable community, valuable connections, relationship with each other. And that is one thing that's really connecting people together. And I believe that if each and every one of us see that vision, see the valuables that is creating in ONPASSIVE, we could be hand in hand with each other. And I definitely believe that we can eradicate, the poverty or whatever that it is, the mental health issues. We can attack all those issues that the world is facing. And there's no doubt about it, though,
Yeah, I agree. You just can't throw money at it, though.
No, you can't.
That's sometimes what the government does. Throw money at a problem. It doesn't solve the problem. It goes back to teaching them, educating them, and we'll be able to do that. I mean, we have a product for that also, right?
For sure. And we know those products, and we know that if it's something that it's not there or it's not existing, it can be created and created from scratch. And that's one thing that I love about it, is that not only ONPASSIVE is running a beautiful company, but it's creating beautiful products as well from scratch, and we
That's
own those
right.
products.
That's right. And it goes back to we only know about 2% of that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ash has great surprises for us. I think he's like, it's almost like he's Santa Claus, and he's so excited to, you know, he's so excited to be able to give to us so that we can bless our lives.
Yes.
And I have total faith in ONPASSIVE and what it's doing for us. I make, like I said, I make all the webinars. Not necessarily live, but most of the webinars that are English speaking. I can't make it to the one. You do webinars in your native tongue, don't you?
I do have a Vietnamese webinar, yes.
Yeah, and so, and I think you're going to bless many lives there in Vietnam, right?
Yes, it is. And the one thing that, if we understand that there are so many countries in the world that hasn't been tapped in, and in terms of technology,
Uh-huh.
there's so many areas in the world that hasn't been tapped in. And so it's so nice to have something that we are actually going to be a few first people to actually going to the countries, to actually helping out. So I'm so looking forward to it. The community of Vietnamese community are so looking forward to every meeting that we have. Recently, we haven't had one recently, but I'm very keep close touch and stay in touch with the community as well.
Well, Julie, you're a rock star not only in the United States, but you're a rock star in Vietnam too. I'm sure you are.
For me is my entire life is whatever I love, I am never stop talking about it. And I think talking about it, sharing about it, a few people who resonate with you will get you. A few people that don't resonate with you think that you are selling it to them, but there's no selling part that we need to do in ONPASSIVE. All it is compassion. All it is passion, sharing what makes what you love, and that's one thing that I will never stop, because that's who I am,
You want to
and
you want to bless other people's lives, and I think uh, whoever has good intentions,
absolutely,
God wants to bless.
absolutely.
He wants to bless, and I think we are going to be in a position to bless many lives. You and I will be able to do that. Some will do it at a speed faster than others, but people like yourself and those who have put their lives into this for the last 4 or 5, maybe even going on 6 years, might get there a little faster, but that's okay. I know I'll get there also. With
And I think many of us who took the opportunity of at the early stage, to mix this as a business ourselves, because a lot of people thinks, you know what, I'm gonna learn along, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna see it happen, and then I'm gonna do this. But many of us, like yourself, you never stop coming to meetings. You are behind the scene, but you always show up, and because of showing up, that's 80% of winning. And the people that show up, the people that understand that there is an opportunity. When I had a wisdom to realize that I'm sitting on a pot of gold, and when I talk about the pot of gold, not only just the financial itself, the technology, the convenience of it, the automation of it, and the direct targeted traffic, and how is it to be able to have a whole complete system within the finger touch,
one,
within you tip your fingers.
yeah, one, and that's the whole idea behind the ecosystem is you only have to log into one place for everything you need, and I love that. Um, it just makes it easy. It goes back to a 5-year-old or
Yeah.
or a 90-year-old be able to do it. All they have to do is be able to click a few little buttons here and there, and it'll go to work for you. And it doesn't have emotion.
No.
We humans have emotion, right?
Yep.
And with emotions, sometimes we make a poor decision. Um, and as we get older, we avoid those a little more. But in our younger days, we're learning, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you have listened to Mr. Ash Mufareh, our CEO, all the time. And I know that many his messages inspiring us. What is it? What is your moment with Mr. Ash Mufareh? I don't know if you had a chance to actually. I believe you did. If you actually had a chat with him in a webinar.
Have I chatted with them? Is that
I
what
believe years
you
ago,
asked?
years ago, yeah, I recall. I
I,
believe, um,
yeah, it was a short visit at the very beginning.
yes,
Um, yeah,
yes.
yeah, I had a short with him. I think it was about the same time. I was involved for about a year and a half. The same time Chris uh, was starting to show up. Um, and it was on that webinar where I think I just about Chris being the cheerleader. He's the master cheerleader for ONPASSIVE, and I made that comment, and I think it was something like that. But yeah, but the thing
Yes.
I like most is the targeted traffic and the automation of it, and because to figure out advertising when you're a business owner sometimes it's hard. You'll try something, you'll lose a lot of money doing it, and then you try something else. Ash is a man, he will make sure he stays ahead of the game. And I'm sure he mentioned it just not too long ago that things have changed a lot in advertising, and the way you advertise online. And so he is keeping up with it so he can take care of us. And
Yes.
that's what I like most about it is the targeted traffic, the idea of advertising on automation and being able to track it with OTracker, or and then other products we have to be able to educate people with with using OConnect, and that's one of our flagship products is OConnect. And from what my understanding from going to a few things, it requires less bandwidth.
Hmm.
And if I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but so like poorer countries, we're going to be able to bless them, like the 54 countries in Africa. Oh, we'll be able to bless them because they can't get the internet like we can here in America. We're spoiled, and
Yes.
as it grows over there, it will naturally grow throughout the globe. But because other products can't reach Africa or other countries that don't have what we have in the United States or in other developed countries, then the word will get out and it'll just explode. It
Absolutely.
it will absolutely explode, and the price of the products for what you get, uh, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. It just is going to happen, and I know it's going to happen. The timeline maybe not where necessarily we want it because we're impatient as humans,
Hmm.
but it will happen. Stick around. It'll.
Absolutely. As you rightly say, so it will happen. Oh, hold on. Sorry, my alarm just turned on.
Does that
Um,
mean that means our time is up?
no, no, not at all. As you rightly say so, that, it will happen not in the time that we want it, but it will happen the way it's supposed to and designed to happen, right? And
Right.
I also think the part is that, Curt, I mean, we have the AI where we created machine learning, the way how we design it to be, on passive design it to be. We have the data, we have our own data center, we have the flexibility and the control of it, we have our own payment processor, you know, all of that pieces are in place. Is it going to happen the same time? Is it going to happen the way we expect it or we speculating it? Not necessarily, but it will happen the way how it designed. It's the way when you're talking about technology, and I always say this to some of the friends that we chatted daily. When it comes to technology, it has to come through a testing, the quality assurance, and it has to go through a certain period of time for it to run, and to actually see if there's mistakes, there's errors in there, and there's so much that involve in. And that's one of the reason why, Kurt, I take this time to learn more, to study more, to look more things, when I have time. But I always feel there is a safe place for everyone to be in ONPASSIVE, and in ONPASSIVE is where everyone's dreams can be possible.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it's much like, Julie, I'm sure you've gone through some hard times in your life where you, you pray, right? I think
Yes.
you're a God believing woman, and so you pray, and are your prayers answered immediately?
Mm-mm.
And sometimes are they answered in the way that you want them to be answered? Sometimes they're answered differently than you're asking for, but
Yes.
they're done, and it
Right.
gets done. And the same thing with, I can compare that in life. I mean, any business, especially a business of this size and this, uh, it's going to take some time. And I just love how Ash is transparent and letting us know. He doesn't let us know things that are going to happen, and that's by design, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if he did, the naysayers and those who are in other companies would attack him, and he's been attacked enough because of transparency. One of his of being transparent also becomes a weakness, because then he has to deal with some headaches, and I totally respect what the way he is transparent as much as he can be, right?
Mm-hmm.
For those of us who are completely all in, he'd love to tell us more. He'd
Mm-hmm.
love to tell us. It's those who have one foot in and one foot out. They're the dangerous ones, right? What's
Mm-hmm.
happening?
Yeah. Yeah. When you trust, when you have a complete trust in someone, and they actually displays all of what you know and think of them, you shouldn't have any question. You shouldn't have and any doubt in terms of that. And for me, is Kurt, is that's how you run, and it's helped you so much, where you show up, you show up as needed. You show up when you need it to be there. You show up and you stay involved. You stay in touch with what you believing in, because sometimes the time that you're putting in, not the money, because we didn't spend, what, we didn't spend like more than 300 to be here. We bought the product, we own the product for a year, right? And so it's not the money that we put in, but we're talking about the time. And that's what you are showing yourself, how much you trust the vision, you trust the leadership in the company, and you trust what is going on. And I feel that being here, being in, and stay in touch with everything that on passive is revolving, I've learned so much. And every business pivot, you pivot to where you go, where it meets your goal, and where it defines your goal, your vision. And so being in unpassive is, it's just a beautiful journey we had so far.
There's no way, Julie, I'd have the intelligence to put together these products to bless humanity. And Ash has like a calling, for all of us, and I think it takes it seriously, even to the point where, um, he's at times had to take a small break just to recharge, and his health has he's even sacrificed his health, and you can't speak for his wife and his children and the sacrifices they have made also, all for us, all for the founders, the original ones that believed in him and his idea, and it grew from there. His idea was different from the beginning, but it's grown and evolved, And as it's evolved, he's had to be able to keep up with technology and AI and make sure that his technicians and techies are taking care of us. So I don't envy him. Running a business when I had 40 employees, that was a headache at times. It was a real headache at times. And the things that happened and the things that you had to do as an owner and decisions you have to make are tough at times because they have families too, right? And you want to
Mhm.
take care of them, and you want to make sure they can pay their rent or their mortgage, and sometimes there's times where I took home less than my manager a year or two, um, here and there. I take home less than my manager would take home because he had a promised salary. As a business owner, you don't always have those promises, and so, but I think on passive is one of those things where it's a done deal. It's done. It's just a matter of getting all the puzzle put together and getting it going. And I know it's going to happen. I just feel it. There's something sometimes you just feel, and
Absolutely.
I think Julie, you've felt it,
Absolutely.
and why you're all in, right? I'm
Yeah.
all in. I'm just not the face like you
Yeah.
are.
um, you know what, Kurt, you talked about Ash's calling. I also believe that every single one of us who have the wisdom to understand a little bit or a little more about unpassive also has a calling. And so many of us in life have callings. It doesn't matter what type of calling, but only some get chosen to actually have that wisdom to understand it fully. And I believe there are so many people in the world hear the calling and got respond and get chosen to actually be together. And that's one of the reason why when Mr. Ash Mufareh, having meetings or there is something that's going on, many of us are coming together. Even someone needed help something, we'll all come together and support in a way. Either a support doesn't have to always be financial. It could be spiritual, it could be emotions, it could be anything. And so such a beautiful community, and I'm so glad that I get to meet you, met you, talk with you, have a conversation with you, sit down with you in the Julie and Milo show, and have phone conversation with you. And it's you're a great guy, knowing that you are busy with family, with work, and church involvement. However, you always there, you always show up. And so I'm gonna ask you a hard question. Okay, I don't think there's hard question coming from me, but what is it that you're looking forward to do? Let's just say that every worries that you have now today may be taken care of, or taken care of to the minimum where you actually have a freedom to feel like you want to do something like you're looking forward to do. What is it that you're looking forward to do?
Um, it goes on the religious side.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be able to. You've seen those the young men that are like 19, 20, 21, riding bikes with white shirts and ties on, right?
Yes, yes.
Those in Orange County and throughout the United States. I'm sure there's many who've seen them, and I would like to be able to bless the lives of young people that don't have the money or the means to go on a mission for the church or to go on a humanitarian mission for the church, um, and everybody has mentioned this, make sure that there's clean water, make sure that they can have just one thing. The Philippines, for example, there's many members of our church there, and they don't have what we have. They don't even have, uh, you know, running water in their place where they live, and they live in like concrete huts in some cases in the Philippines, and so but they're good people, and they deserve better. Um, and they deserve running water, and they deserve to have some of the luxuries we have. They deserve to have a mattress in their home to sleep on, And that's the direction I really want to go, is in a humanitarian way, and also to spread the word of Jesus Christ, mostly through my work. When I say works, I don't mean in any way. When I say that, some people can say, well, you can't be saved by works. That's correct. It's by the grace of God you're saved. But when you can bless other people's lives, then that is where true freedom comes for yourself too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the direction I would like to be able to go. But first of all, I got to take care of my family, my grandkids, and set them up so that they can do the same thing, right? You teach
Yes.
them to do the same thing. And so I served a mission as a young guy. I was 19. I served up in Canada, in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island. Um, Let me see, New Brunswick, and there was one other. Oh my! There was 4 provinces that I served in. It's been a long time. It's been 35. But there's still people there I that I'm friends with, and I still keep in contact with. And those friendships are important. And the friendships in ONPASSIVE are going to be important. We're going to help one another. And by helping one another, I'm not completely talking about finances as before, but that's going to be a natural blessing that's going to come to us. And I think God wants to bless us,
Absolutely.
and wants to bless good people. And $300 to somebody in a country that's poor, or in Africa or Papua New Guinea or any of those areas, is a lot of money. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so if we in America can grasp onto this business model and push forth, we can help people in those type of countries. And that's my goal. That's really my goal, to do that, to spend the rest of my, of course I'm going to spend time with family and my grandkids. I don't want to be traveling all the time where I don't get to see them, but I would like to take significant amounts of time, maybe 6 months at a time or a year at a time, go out and then come home and be home with my kids and grandkids for a bit. It'll bless their lives.
Absolutely.
It'll bless their lives. So that's kind of, I mean, that's where I want to go. Do I want to enjoy life along the way? Yeah. Smell the roses along the way? Yes. Of course, all of us do. And
Yes.
and as I
Yes.
mentioned before, and I'm going to mention again, yeah, I want to be married someday. I don't want to be single the rest of my life. I love going to single activities and helping, but I want to be married someday, of course.
See, I knew that wasn't a hard question
No, I can always talk.
because it's
I can
always
always
comes
rant. I
up.
can always ramble. I'm sorry, Julie. I interrupted you.
Oh no, that's okay. I said I knew it wasn't a hard question, and I knew it just come right out. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm very sure. I'm very sure that there are so many people in on passive, or whoever that's listening to this message will resonate with what you share today. And I do hope one of those individual will soon become your soulmate. Who knows God's work, right? Who knows
Right.
God's work?
I just do my part and see what happens.
And exactly, and that's what we do. We do our part and see what happened. Um, Curt, it has always been great chatting with you in conversations, and it's good. Sometimes you got to come back to California and enjoy the beach for a little bit, because I know you were here. You used to live in San Clemente. What a gem!
Yeah, yeah, and I know how to surf. I don't know if I do
Yeah,
the short. I don't know if I do the short board much anymore. Maybe a long board, or maybe
yeah.
body, or the boogie board. But yeah, I did that in my youth, and it's like riding a bike. It comes back.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it comes
whatever
back.
you master whatever you master as Ed when you're younger, you always come back. So
That's right. Julie, it's been great visiting with you too. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you do, and I appreciate your heart. Your heart's in the right place.
thank you
Um,
so much.
and I, you mentioned it the other day on some webinar you were talking, that your English is your second language. I think you do a great job, because I can only speak English. I'm one of those spoiled Americans that we expect everybody to speak our language, and sometimes I wish I did know another language or two. Maybe
I
I'll do that. But if time frees up for me, and I have the apples, then I'll be able to um, maybe improve some in some areas there too.
Oh
Learn.
yeah, absolutely. It's always fun, and yes, English is my second language. Sometimes I laugh at myself saying things, which is okay,
Yeah,
and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy being myself.
yeah. People that know you, it doesn't matter. They know your heart, Julie.
Yes, definitely. Well, I really appreciate you. I hope you get some water and stay cool. But I truly appreciate this conversation. It has been fun, and I'm looking forward to more conversations.
Okay. I hope it wasn't too long.
No, you're fine. We're doing good. I mean,
Okay.
I was actually worrying for you being outside under the sun, and it's absolutely beautiful there in your background.
Yeah, I'm kind of a health nut. I take care of myself, so I make sure that yeah, I go hiking quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, quite a bit. It's usually I'll wear a flashlight at night, and I'll take a few of my grandkids with me, and we'll go on maybe a 3 mile hike with a flashlight on my forehead.
Oh,
Um,
that's fun.
so they love to do that. So that's
Oh,
something I do after my work day is done. Uh,
I bet those kids, those grandkids, keeping you young, aren't they?
they do,
Yeah, yeah.
do
They're keeping you young, not only young but healthy as well.
correct. They do.
Yeah,
I love them with all my heart.
yeah.